I was walking through town and there was a Deliveroo guy. He was angle grinding a lock off a bike. Is that your bike?
This is my bike.
You sure? I've never used Deliveroo in my life, don't know anything about them. Didn't know anything about them, but he's just cutting the chain off this lock, broad daylight, Georgia Street, the big streets of Dublin, rush hour. People, so I went over and said, "Is that your bike?" "Yeah, it's my bike." "Yeah, it's my bike." He had an angle grinder. He put the angle grinder and the busted lock in the bag, and that was the end of that. I thought it was very strange. He got a bit iffy with me. I'll probably put the video up. He got a bit iffy with me, but it ends up me chatting with a few Deliveroo guys. This is a bit shocking. This is very shocking. So, what can happen is, you can come over from any country. If there's someone here who's working for Deliveroo, it's in their contract that they can give that job to anyone. Anyone. No IDs needed, don't need the details, they can give that to anyone. This is what the guys told me and I didn't believe it. So I applied for a job in Deliveroo. And I got the document sent to me. All I'm short now of telling them is the make of my bike. That's all they want to know. What's the make of your bike? What's the make of your bike? And they email me every few days. But this is the situation. So, you can come over here. You can get a job with Deliveroo, take as many jobs as you want, give them jobs to other people once they've got transportation, and these other people could be anyone. These are the guys you see cycling, delivering food with the mask up to here. These guys, you can't even see who's at it. So this is me thinking, what if that delivery was to someone I knew and they had to let them in? These guys had to come into the kitchen with the bags and, you know, grand if you're vetted or you know where they're from or you have some indication of who they're working for, but if you don't know who they are and there's no way of tracing back to them, they can do anything. This is quite frightening. Anyone can get into your head. This is following up on the taxi drivers in the last video swapping licenses. If this is happening as well, so we don't know who's doing anything in this country. You don't need ID for anything. It's, you know, but this kind of, to be in that line of work, I think that's pretty terrifying that anyone could be coming into your house. Or my granny's house, or my mother's house, or your mother's house. It could be anyone. And they're masked up, so even if you're not going to get photos of them. Applied for the job, tempted to go to take it and do a few runs just to see what happened, but I didn't. Well, it's still open for me. They accepted me over an email. So anyone can work for Deliveroo. Anyone can be delivering your Deliveroo food. Know that. I would say don't let anyone into your house with the shopping. If you're aged, let them put it in the door. But I would be very wary after hearing. I'm wary in taxis after the last city, but I'd be wary about the delivery guys after this. No doubt about it. So
first. In Pakistan, the Pakistanis come first. In Nigeria, the Nigerians come first. In Ireland, you're last. The immigrant gets the red carpet. The immigrant gets the red carpet. Well, we get nothing. We're paddy last in our own country.
This guy here's got some media skills at the front as well. He's got a nice iPhone or a Samsung, whatever he's got there. He's making sure he gets plenty of footage of this happening. We see a big group of men here that have descended into Ireland. They could be asylum seekers. They could be refugees. They could be people that have passed vetting, Garda vetting, and satisfied the government that they don't have any criminal records and they're simply here for a better life. They're here for a better life, and let's face it, they look healthy to me, and they've got some education because they can speak English, multilingual these people are, to give them their dues, but very abrasive. And it looks like if they don't get what they want, they're not averse to banging and kicking on gates and screaming demands. No please, no thank you, just demands. So, you know, here's another busload Second busload of the day, according to the Irish commentator in this one. I wonder, are these people more economically active than the Irish, better educated than the Irish? Some of them will be better off than the Irish because they're getting hotels, they're getting iPass centres built, they're getting modular accommodation. Some Irish people are sleeping on their friends' floors, on their friends' sofas, sleeping in their own tents, trying to put up cabins in their own gardens, or simply completely homeless, while other people are sitting in hotels and iPass centres. So let's get some balance. Tell you what, they all have phones. They're broke, but they've got phones.
Second bus now after coming in the last half an hour. This is a joke. How is our kids and our women meant to feel safe on these buses? This is a disgrace, this is. We're a laughing joke of fucking Europe.
They know how to put their hoods up and cover their faces too.
Dublin and fucking Ireland. Look, where are they all gonna go? They all gonna run up another mountaintop, ready? That is disgraceful, that is. Look at that. This is the second load. The second load of people that are coming out in the last half an hour. Look.
So there you have it. And let me be. I think it's the government rubbing people's noses in it again, aggravating, winding people up again, using their media arms, the influence that they exert, and NGOs that are funded to the tune of billions per year to push their message out, because we know.
Oh, hello! I could do it.
Liars.
I could do it one of them myself.
I'll tell you something, right? I don't know if you've seen the programme to do with RTE where they had the woman and she said a racist slur towards these people, but they didn't record the part or put it up on the TV. They might have the recording of it, but they certainly didn't put it on the TV when these people were calling her names. She used to come up every morning and give toast and sausages, eggs, stuff like that. She brought up food for me dogs, even though I bring it anyway. She says, oh no, we're here to look after each other.
Yeah.
A very nice woman she is.
Yeah.
And I won't say her name because there's a lot of abuse gone up online about her because of what RT put up on the thing. Yes, she said a racial slur, which I don't agree with that racial slur. But she was antagonised to do that.
Is that on the programme last week?
It's actually on the programme. You remember the girl?
No,
yeah,
I haven't watched it yet.
Blonde-headed girl. Well, they were actually abusing her originally because a few mornings. Asked her what was she doing here, and she said, I have a house down here. She says it's supposed to be worth $1.5 million. She says it's downgraded in price. I think it's only worth about 90,000 now, and no one. She couldn't sell it. No one wants to move up there because of this coming in, because they know the trouble everywhere they go. There's trouble caused. That woman, right? She was given the height of abuse, and I tell you what I heard them calling her. They said she was a prostitute, that she was sleeping with all the people. That's what they called her. Yeah, and she said, "How dare you? How dare you?" So, well, why? What would you want here? That's when they said it, because she said it cost so much money to her dad paid for part of the house, and she paid. She's working all her life, and so was her dad. And that's how they were able to buy the house up, you know. And they said no, their money came from prostitution. That's what they told her. This is the abuse she got. But they don't show that on RTE. They don't give you any of that, you know what I mean?
No, they won't tell you that.
No, they won't tell you the truth.
Brilliant talking to you.
No, but God bless you. In Jesus' name, God bless you. Yeah.
I stepped off the plane this morning. I went to a newspaper stand. Every single newspaper had the same front page. Slightly different words. Deplorable was one of them. Now, in North America, Hillary Clinton called working class people deplorables. It was a kind of insult. Every single media outlet was like they were reading from the same script. Are there any alternative sources of news or information? Because if Facebook and Instagram are censored, if the mainstream media is a monolith, if the radio is a monolith, and RTE, how is an Irish person supposed to get the other side of the story?
We just have to beat the elections and stop the taxpayers from paying for a corrupt media. Don't even try to install a favourable media on your side when you take power. Just don't defund it. A propaganda tool is not good for any society, especially a free one. So
there it is.
I was protesting in Ballyogan. I got arrested in Ballyogan. I was beaten up by Gardaí in Ballyogan. My finger, look at my finger, damaged my finger. I was only in court there again Thursday, and it's been adjourned again now to 12th of March. That's the Ballyogan.
Best of luck with you.
I mean, they're taking people's phones, they're taking people's devices. For what? They're not porn, they're not videoing porn. What are they videoing? They're videoing brutality that's happening to their own people. You know, that's why they're taking these things.
Yeah.
With me is Philip Dwyer, a citizen journalist
who was arrested last night in Coolock, spent a little bit of time in the clink before he was let out. He's now under order not to re-attend the place in Coolock. So we thought we would go somewhere a little bit fancier. There's some beautiful parts in Ireland, and I think your purpose for taking us here to the Malahide Marina was to make a point that they're not putting 500-person migrant camps in the luxury, high-income places of Ireland. They're putting it in the low-income, low political clout areas like Coolock. Is that right?
That's right, Ezra, and thank you for letting me use your platform here to get the message out of what's going on in Ireland. And yeah, absolutely is the point that this is a very affluent part of North County Dublin, right on the coastline here. You have apartment blocks around it here, very high-end, expensive apartments. The whole area has boutique shops, it has excellent restaurants, and a close-knit community that would be very conscious of not allowing their community to be invaded by what's happening in places like Coolock and many other parts of Ireland and Dublin, but it always tends to be the working class areas. And it's been, it's really got out of control now, Ezra, and as people can see around the world, we think it's really important to get the message out around the world that Ireland is really being devastated now by this influx of mainly military-age men at this stage. No matter what the people seem to say or the community seem to say, the government they seem to laugh in your faces.
No one listens to them, at least no one in the establishment, whether it's establishment media or establishment political parties, let alone establishment police. So it's almost unique to see an actual elected official here, and hopefully his presence will deter any police action, although so far the police have kept themselves hundreds of yards away. I'm talking with Councillor Glenn Moore. What a pleasure to meet you.
Thanks very much. Glad to be here, and I'll be here for a good while until I go. But yeah, it's just look, it's much more calm than what it is yesterday. You said there, to deter the police. No, we got sprayed. It was 4 councillors yesterday, and we were targeted as well. So even though we tried to de-escalate the situation because there was a good few elderly people. So the idea is we wanted to de-escalate is because the riot police was charging, and many people couldn't actually get away from them fast enough, especially elderly people. And we already have a video of a 79-year-old lady that got pepper sprayed, and she was on crutches. So that was one of the reasons, we wanted to de-escalate it, to stop them from advancing each time, because you had people just confused, didn't know where to go, didn't know where to stand. People were getting hurt, and it was just mad. And to say, of course there was young lads acting the MAGA, throwing stuff and all that. Of course that happened, but both sides were engaging on each other. Both the Garda broke ranks, ran into the crowd, grabbed people, antagonised people. Both sides. It just blew up, and there was no chance for a peaceful protest. So it was disappointing on both sides. But I still stand by what I was saying online, is that people here, we have the right to free assembly and to protest, and that should be respected on both sides. Should be respected on both sides, both the law enforcement and the people here.
And retaliatory justice doesn't really work, does it? Because if we all went around just killing the people who we felt like were creating suffering, a lot of individuals would be dead. And who has the right to make the decision about who's worthy of life or death in the wake of the way that they impact other people?
You could feel that something bad was going to happen. And then all of a sudden, police vans came around, and they came out kind of behind us. So in other words, we were kind of nearly trapped. You didn't know where to go. When I got arrested by the way, this individual, he's a police inspector. He's the same guy that beat me very badly, physically assaulted me the night of the Dublin riots. I was hospitalised with bad leg injuries. The same inspector arrested me yesterday because I was filming.
What were you charged with? I was going to ask. Obviously, you were not throwing a rock, am I right?
Oh, no.
Yeah, and you were not masked.
No, I was trying to cover the news. I mean, this is...
So